Namaste. Welcome, Life Campers. My name is Carrie. Welcome back. Or option to come into Hero's Pose on your knees. Just finding a comfortable grounding position. Hero's Pose, you can sit on your knees, sinking back on your heels. Whatever pose best fits you today, find it now and begin to warm up your yoga breath. So breathing in and out through your nose. Lengthening your spine. Shoulders back to the ears. Crown of your head lifting towards the ceiling. Find your eyes closing or looking at something on the floor that's not moving. And begin to listen to your breath. Begin to feel your breath, the rise and the fall. And today we're going to learn counting breath. So we're going to inhale for 4 counts, pause, and then exhale out for 4 counts. So let's try that together. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, and exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue this breath on your own. Taking your time. Begin to listen and feel again. And here we'll take one more round of breath. Return back to your normal breathing. Maybe you begin to open your eyes. I'm going to come into a shoulder stretch. I'm going to interlace my fingers in front of me, stretching towards the palms of my hands towards the front of the room. Continue throughout the practice this yoga breathing. Moving closer to the front of the room. And now we're going to move those palms towards the ceiling, reaching up, shoulders back and away from your ears, but palms are moving towards the ceiling. One last round of breath here. Good, and now we're going to drop our chin towards the floor, keeping the palms pushing towards the ceiling. And then we're going to look up at our fingers. Just doing some gentle yes movements with our head. Maybe your right ear comes towards your right shoulder. Come back to center and we'll drop the left shoulder. Coming back to center, we'll release our hands towards the ground. And I'm going to come on to one side, bringing my feet out in front, coming into staff pose. So staff pose, our legs are straight, toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale in, and then exhale, begin to fold. Leading with our heart. Forehead is coming towards the front of the room, towards your feet. Your hands might just land on your shins or your ankles, and that's fine. Or maybe they come to your feet today. With each breath, we're going to grow taller. So on our inhale, we're going to elongate our spine, and then with the exhale, we're just going to fold maybe a little deeper towards our legs. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, maybe just move just a centimeter closer, heart closer towards your legs. One last round here. Good, and then I'm going to slowly come up. We're going to come into a twist like we did with our last class. This time, one leg is going to be bent, and one leg stays straight. So I'm bending my right leg. My foot's going to go over my left straight leg. Left arm comes to right knee. Right arm comes behind me. So I'm going to be sitting up tall and strong and twisting towards the right-hand side. Good. Let your eyes be the gaze. We'll come back to center and we'll switch sides. So this time my left knee is going to bend. Sitting up tall and strong in our sit bone. I'm going to take the leg. Always an option like last. Elbow to left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, so you can twist a little bit deeper. And we'll release. Coming onto our hands and knees, we're going to come into cat-cow poses. So we're going to start in table pose. Shoulders in line with our wrists. Hips in line with our knees. Your head is pointing towards the front of the room. And now I'm going to push my heart through my shoulders, looking up with my chin. Inhale in for cow. And then exhale, I'm going to begin to round my back into cat. Get scared cat. So my spine's coming towards the ceiling. Inhale. Cow pose, heart through center of my shoulders, and then exhale, rounding. Moving with your breath. Continue this flow. One last round here. And then we'll meet back in table pose. I'm going to place my right foot, ball of my right foot onto the mat, and I'm going to come into a calf stretch. So I'm going to draw my right heel towards the mat. Feel it in your calf. Your calf muscle is behind your shins on the back of your leg. And then I'm going to bring that ball of my foot up. My right leg is extended, heel towards the back of the room. Toes are pointing down towards my mat. It's a nice spine stretch. So you want to feel this from the crown of your head all the way to your heel. The crown of your head's moving in one direction and your heel is moving in the opposite direction. Option to stay here, or if you want more of a challenge, you can stretch your opposite hand towards the front of the room. Eyes drishti, looking down at your mat, something that's not moving. Help you with balance. And will help you stay in the present moment. One more breath here. Good, and then left hand to the mat, right knee comes down. And we'll switch sides. But before we switch sides, I'm just going to do a couple more cat-cow stretches here. Really warming up our spine. We'll meet back in center. Left foot kicks up, coming onto the left ball of my foot. I'm just going to gently bring my heel towards the ground. Feel the stretch in your calf. Core is engaged, which means your stomach is pulling towards your spine. And now I'm going to lift the ball of my foot off of the mat, coming into a nice spine stretch. Toes rooting down towards the ground. And maybe with the opposite side of your body, your right hand extends towards the front of the room. Good, right hand towards the ground, and left knee towards the mat. Nice, we're going to sit back in a wide-legged child's pose. So notice how my knees are wide again. I'm sitting back on my heels. And my feet are touching. I'm going to walk my hands towards the front of the room, placing my forehead on the ground. Return to your breath. Feel the opening of your hips. And now I'm going to come all the way onto the ground. On my stomach. Bending my elbows, and my forehead is is going to return back to the ground. My legs are straight. Coming into cobra pose, so elbows in towards your body. Fingers are spread wide on your mat. When we inhale, we're going to lift our heart off the ground, keeping our tops of our feet grounded into the floor. And we'll slowly come down. Maybe you rest one cheek on your mat. And we'll try again. Placing your hands on the mat. We're going to come into cobra pose again. This time, if you want, you can come into cobra breathing. So we're going to inhale, heart center lifts, and then exhale. Like a snake. Nice work. Opposite cheek to the mat. Maybe you wiggle your hips out a little. And our next pose is going to be another heart lifting pose. So I'm going to bend my right knee. We're going to make half bow. We're going to come into bow pose at the end. So we're going to come into half bow right now. I'm going to bend my right knee, reaching for my ankle or the top of my foot. And my left hand is going to extend to the front of the room. And when I'm ready to lift my heart center and my knee off of the ground. Reaching and breathing. Okay, and then we'll switch sides. Bending the opposite knee, reaching for your foot or your ankle, half bow on the opposite side. Hand extends, and then we're going to lift that heart center up. And then we'll take a rest. Maybe again, this time, maybe we'll windshield wiper our feet. Just drawing our feet to one side and then back to the opposite side. And this time we're going to come into a full bow pose. So I want you to imagine a bow and arrow. We're going to make our bow for our arrow to move through. So see if you can grab the tops of your feet or your ankles, whichever fits best for you. And then I'm going to pull my shoulder blades in towards one another. So they're hugging. Knees are coming in towards each other as well. And when you're ready, you can lift your chest and your knees off the mat. Don't forget to breathe here. So, if you notice, I might look like a boat right now, or you might feel like a boat right now. And moving with breath. Thinking back, child's pose. Maybe this time in your child's pose, your knees will be a little bit wider. Hips opening. Walking our forearms and our fingers towards the front of the mat. Sink back on your heels. We're going to walk our hands to the right side. And we're just going to come into a nice side stretch here. You should feel this in your left side more. Now I'm going to walk my hands to the left side. And you should feel this in your right side body. Now we'll walk our hands back to center, preparing for our first downward facing dog. So I'm going to return back into table pose. My toes are going to bend, tuck under. And my hips are going to come towards the spine. Heels drawing towards the floor. And allow my head and neck to release. Maybe again, we can shake your head yes. Yes, we made it onto our mat today. Yes, we feel powerful in this pose.